focus, meaning we're focusing on the needs and the requirements for
Right.
employers as a way to generate jobs for job seekers. So it's not a matter of we're focusing on
Yep.
employers and now we're forgetting about job seekers.
No, no, no,
We're
no,
actually
no.
through this focus, this is going to give us an opportunity to create more opportunities
Right.
for the job seeker.
So with that being said, with the job seekers, what we're trying to do is enhance our career counseling for them. And you talked about things earlier in terms of prepping for the job fair, whether it be your resume, whether it be interviewing techniques, things of that nature. So we are at the Career Center, focused on trying to help these job seekers best position themselves to productively and at the end of the day ascertain a job. So we're coaching, mentoring, guiding, directing, all of those things. But now we're going to have a direct pipeline to the HR people at the employer level. So we'll actually have a team of recruiters. And these recruiters are working on behalf of the employer to fill a job, but also on behalf of the job seeker, because if we have a qualified job seeker, if we have somebody who we've worked with, who we've dedicated some time to, and that job seeker has been engaged, has worked hard to prepare themselves and position themselves for that, has the qualifications, of course, they can come to us and we can personally make a referral to that employer. So I mean that's like networking. We always talk about networking. It's not what you know, it's who you know. So now if you're working with the Career Center and you're working with a recruiter, we can personally refer you to a position through a company that we have a personal interest and contract with in terms of saying, hey, we're going to help fill your need with qualified applicants
Through the Career Center.
through the Career Center. So we're working both sides of the fence, but enhancing both sides of those practices. So, I mean, it's a win-win scenario. And I mean, we're excited about it. We're working with a few companies now in that regards.
Now this team is going to need a dynamic leader, someone
I
who
agree.
has great ability from a sales standpoint, but more so someone who's just a great, awesome person.
Yep.
From what I've heard,
would-
they've already gotten that person.
Well, I think,
They found it.
I think some of the characteristics is results oriented, handsome, a go getter, self initiative, handsome.
Well, you
Nice
guys,
t-shirt.
thank you guys. You don't have to.
You
say
know,
so.
he-
We
you
weren't,
know,
we're not talking about Creasy.
things like that. Somebody who's stays physically fit, runs 5Ks, runs
Say,
through the
like,
mud
I don't
runs,
know,
Mud runs,
has his own segment on the show.
Freezing
Quit
cold
this
day in
corner.
October and wears a short sleeve polo as opposed to a jacket. Do we
Doesn't
know
put the heat
anybody
up.
like that?
You know what? Fine. I guess the cat is out of the bag. Yes, I'm actually, Ethan, I appreciate that intro better than Queesy's intro to the show. But yeah, actually, I've been appointed to run lead in this.
Yeah.
So I am the business engagement manager. So I'm excited about it. I've actually been out talking to employers. I've talked to and solicited a couple of them to be pilot programs for us, which we're in the midst of right now. So we're creating that whole team and we're building on it and we're getting started. We're rolling it out now. I'm excited about what's going to happen as we get some more traction to it. But we're working with 4 companies right now, and we have over 100 positions available
Wow, between the 4 companies.
between the 4
Wow.
companies. I mean, we're working with one in manufacturing, one in IT, one in hospitality, and one in banking financing. So we actually
That's what I said,
strategically,
really diverse.
and there you go, strategically went with a diverse portfolio to get started so we can tap into various resources to kind of get a feel for the lay of the land out there and what we have to improve on as a career center as a whole. But we're looking forward to working with partners in the city and throughout Central Mass and honestly throughout the state right now. We are, we're very excited about it, and these companies are working with us. So there's going to be some great feedback, and hopefully, sooner rather than later, we'll be filling all of those positions. We're off to a great start. We're off to a great start, and look forward to building momentum and getting this going, and so that we are basically a staffing agency
Essentially,
Well,
yeah.
yeah, like
A recruiter.
programs.
for free.
Yeah.
So like programs like this would definitely tackle, the high unemployment rates that I believe the governor Charlie Baker put in the task force for to tackle chronically unemployment rates throughout certain regions of
That's right.
Massachusetts. So,
And I think the key with this, and where I'm excited, obviously, with Jonathan and his team, but the key is actually developing pipelines as opposed to, and part of that, a requirement to really have the pipeline is that handoff between the career counselors, the recruiters, and the business service representatives, developing that relationship with the employer, so we have the exclusivity of these job opportunities. But the balance, where the balance comes in, is okay. We need to make sure that these job seekers are ready, and that's where the pipeline coming from.
I mean,
and that's the employment gap. That's the gap between
absolutely.
the employer looking for qualified candidates and job seekers with skills, or job seekers who eventually will attain the skills needed to fill those positions. That's the gap.
And you know what? We've been doing quality services for a very long time. But this just kind of connects the dots a little bit more intimately in the
Yep.
fact that we are the liaison. You know, this time around, we are that pipeline. So whereas we were like talking to companies about potential candidates and working with candidates and saying, hey, here's a company that you should apply to. Now it's more of we have a vested interest in both sides, and we want to work. But so I don't want to say new and improved, because we've been very good at what we've done. But this really just kind of, like I said, connects the dots, put things in place, and at the end of the day, I think it's a win-win all around. I mean, actually, it'd be a win-win-win.
Yeah.
Job seekers, employers, and Workforce Central. So, so companies who are listening in today, if you're interested in something like that, feel free to contact the local career center in your area. The business service reps are ready and available to take your call. And job seekers, as always, we highly recommend that you come in at all levels of positions, because we cover the gamut, from entry level to CEOs and what have you. We talk about entrepreneurship and things of that nature. So we cover a lot of things: youth, older workers,
mature workers.
mid-management, what have you. So
Training,
Training
we're gonna talk about
opportunities
that
are
later on
there.
today, actually. But we do have some training opportunities that we'll talk about, and things that are going on as well.
yeah, so exciting stuff at the Career Center.
Yeah,
exciting
loving it.
stuff. So part of the move and things of that nature. But speaking of exciting,
and so for your local career center numbers for Workforce Central in Worcester, the phone number is 508-799-1600. For your local career center in Milford, the phone number is 508. For your local career center in Milford, the number is 508-478-4300. For your local career center in Worcester, it's 508-799-1600. And for Southbridge, 508-765-6430. Don't hesitate to call, and you can also look online to check out the workshop schedules for the month.
it sounded like a little telethon there.
It did.
If you want to call and donate, come on, call dial 1. I said and
Phones are standing by.
I think I said something about speaking of exciting. Next thing you know, he's rattling off telephone numbers. I'm like, what?
That's good. That's what he's
No,
supposed to be doing.
he's Mr. Information today.
That's Pumpkinhead.
You know what? Our little flower is growing up. He's starting to blossom back there.
Young buck still wet behind the ears.
And so, with that being said, we're going to go to the D-Web segment, Downtown with Ethan Brown. Do you want to tell them about this?
Yeah, I'm
Can-
excited.
Can we talk about it there, co-host? I was
That's all right. He's trying to, you know what I mean? He's trying to.
taking away D-Web's plug. That's it. And next
No,
on the
it's-
show, D-Web.
D-Web has been on. We've run a couple of some shows that we've done in the past. But I'm excited that we've recorded some new stuff, some exciting stuff.
We didn't change the intro though, right?
Come on, you can't mess with a classic.
I just
baby.
heard it in the background.
Yeah, it's all good. That part's still the
I
same.
think I'm gonna be playing that tune all day long now.
I'm
Downtown.
I battled with whether or not, because we come in, we have the hat going on, and we have different things. I battled with whether or not to change it, but for the most part, I've kept it the same. But I feel like as an artist, I'm growing. So upcoming, what's so funny? What you,
Oh boy.
you just lost a
It's
step.
creative genius, this
Yeah,
is
my
like
creative. I'm
a
just
Kanye,
trying to do more with it, but
Dr. Kanye West rant, your creative genius.
I'm the greatest. I'm the best. It's difficult It's difficult to work with people who are so.
Now we have
older
the
than I
artist
am.
formerly known as Ethan.
It's difficult, you know what I mean. But I'm thankful for the people that I've stepped on to get to this point, who have supported me.
Oh, can we play the cut already?
I think which one
This is the longest intro I've ever heard for a
this is-
5-minute segment.
This is Joe's albums.
When you're alone and life is making you lonely, you can always go downtown.
Nope.
When you down, down, down.
Mr. Pop.
I don't know why you don't take me downtown like you got anywhere better to be.
Will I see you tonight on a downtown train?
Nope.
And now it's time for another edition of Downtown with Ethan Brown.
Hey everybody, welcome back to another session of Downtown with Ethan Brown. I am your host, Ethan Brown. And I'm here actually at Joe's album. I'm here with Joe Demers. How's it doing, Joe?
Good, Ethan. How about
Good.
you?
Awesome. So we want to kind of talk a little bit about some of the things that are going on in the city, and that's what this segment is all about. All right, I'm excited. It's been a little bit while since we've done a new one, so I'm really, really excited to do this with you, Joe.
Great.
Cool. So, Joe, you guys have recently moved here to Main Street.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, you took part in the City of Worcester Site Assistance Program. Is that correct?
Yes, the site search assistance. I had been looking for about a year and a half on my own through different websites and, contacting some realtors at times, and hadn't really been finding what I wanted, what I thought was the right fit. So I did contact the office at City Hall, and they were incredibly helpful right from the beginning. Responsive, sending a lot of different possibilities, and so we went and looked at about 12 different sites at first. Yeah, from the Hanover down to this section of Main Street down to Mechanics Hall, and I cut it down to about 3 from the first visits, and from there we settled on this spot, which I love.
Cool. That's awesome. First of all, let me ask you, you look at, you're selling records and things of that nature. Is there really a need for that? You think about people have CDs and you can go online and just buy, go to iTunes. Are people really coming in and really, really interested in 45s and CDs? They
are. I think more and more middle-aged people like myself who may be getting back into it, whether it's nostalgia or different things like that. And the crowd is getting younger and younger. Over the last 18 months, from teenagers, 20s, 30s, people picking up turntables, getting into records, and they like the older stuff, but most things nowadays, which a lot of people don't realize, are pressed again on vinyl, and so that helps the younger crowd get into it too.
That's awesome. Actually, I didn't know that. It's funny, coming in here, I did get nostalgic. I was walking in here, and it felt like I'm walking to my grandfather's house again when he was with all his 45s and all this stuff. And I'll tell you the story right quick. I think I shared this with you earlier. So we had this huge record player. I think it was the size of a couch.
Yeah.
It was from like the 70s. And we lived in a third-floor apartment. And somehow someone came up the stairs, broke into the house, and they stole this thing. This thing was huge. And we were thinking, probably could have took the TV, probably could have taken the Nintendo that we had, but instead you stole us like 500-pound
yeah,
record
that must
player.
Have been quite a feat to get that down.
Yeah. So, but that's really, really cool. So, why Worcester? Are you from the area? What?
Yeah, I've always lived in Worcester. I grew up over near Holy Cross, went to South High, and so I opened the original store not far from my house.
Yeah.
It was more of a convenience. I was still working full time, so it opened just weekends at first. And so that was proximity, you know. And then over my search, I actually was looking at some other areas. I saw one spot in Auburn that I thought would work at one time, but I actually couldn't get past going outside of Worcester in my mind.
Yeah.
It was a hurdle. Part of it is there are a lot of apps for record stores and things like that, and when people are in Worcester, I get, even way out on Pleasant Street where I would get customers from the Palladium when they were in town and things like that, because they would look it up on the app. And so part of my thought process was, if someone's in town for that and they look up and see the nearest one is some town they don't know, they're not heading over there. Right, even though right down the highway is a quick little shot and back, but actually probably quicker than heading out to the Tatnick area of Pleasant Street. But just that, not being Worcester, I thought would hurt. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, Joe, I want to thank you again. If people want to come and check you out, find out what's going on here, where are we sending them?
Yeah, sure. It's 317 Main Street, the ground floor of Mechanics Hall. So you can head right over there. There's parking all around, meters, garages, lots. Or you can visit our website at joesalbums.com, where most of the inventory in here is on there. So a lot of people actually shop at night and get their game plan together and then come down and pick it up.
I think, Jessica, we had mentioned earlier, we were in here prepping for the shoot, and Jessica was in here talking to Joe, and she's already going to buy some of his equipment. So it happens that fast. All right. Joe, I want to thank you again for taking the time to meet with us, and
My pleasure, Ethan.
I'll be back shortly.
Thanks.
And then back
Take
to you
care.
guys.
Way into the beat. This
All right,
is
it gets
smooth.
in you. It
This
gets
is
in.
so
You got to
smooth.
move to it.
I like it. I like it. This, you know what? You should be a DJ here at some point in time.
That's what I'm saying.
Play this kind of music.
Yeah. So quickly, just so.
Oh, change the subject. Okay,
yeah, no, we're
I'm
not changing
done.
the subject.
Okay,
We're,
go ahead.
we're still talking about me. That's the subject.
This would
That's
be the
how we
perfect
interact.
time for folks out there who can make intros. If you'd like to make an introduction for Queasy on campus, I am looking for an introduction.
Horrible
messing
time.
with
Who
This
is that
was
third
a
voice?
horrible-
I hear
So
voices
here's
in
the
my
thing,
head.
bro. Here's the thing, young buck.
Who
You had
you
a rough
talking-
day. You get on point, and now you get a little too big for your britches. All right.
That's what I'm saying.
But I do need an introduction song. You got the
back.
Cortez Corner. You have the fancy downtown Ethan Brown music. Queasy on campus. All I have is a school bell, like it's Saved by the Bell.
Where is the button to shut off his mic?
I don't know.
I
This
can't
one?
even
Get no
find
love. You say it's a rough day.
Can I just pull one of these cords here?
it. That's your mic.
Oh.
So no, I need
no.
you, Ethan. I need you to stay with me, kid. Stay with me. So we were talking about D Webb, right?
Yeah. That's where we started.
Well, that's where I thought we were
Yeah.
going with this. So he didn't get the agenda. So continue on. That was quite the interview.
It was really exciting.
You talk a lot during.
I
the
actually I
interviews.
don't. That's probably one of the my thing is probably I don't know like 5 minutes. Let me tell you something. The first Downtown with Ethan Brown, the unofficial, it was like 37 seconds.
Of you.
I asked like 2 questions. I was interviewing the center
State your
manager
name and purpose.
at Job Corps, and literally we were talking. He was like, "All right, I'm leaving," and then like that was it. And then Jeff was like, "Yeah, that's gonna be a new segment." I'm like, "That was like 35 seconds."
Yeah.
So we've grown quite a bit. So
Oh, okay.
5 minutes is not bad. But
No.
But what I was going to
Nothing
say,
at all.
Joe's album, they actually, the city of Worcester has a small business incentive programs that they have. They provide different services. Joe's album actually took advantage of their site search assistance program.
Okay.
So the city of Worcester actually, economic development actually worked with them, helped them research and find sites. They connected with the building owners. And Joe and kind of was that go-between and really helped him find a spot. Now he's at Main Street,
Yeah.
right across the street from the Career Center, next to Mechanics Hall.
Is his last name really Album?
I think so. Yeah, I think
Was
his
his
middle.
first name really
I
Joe?
think his middle name is Maines.
I thought it'd be
Joe.
Joe
Maines
Final
Album.
Albums.
No, his name is
not
not.
JVC.
No,
No JVO. Whatever.
it's
it is.
Demers. It's Joe Demers.
Joe Demers.
Yes.
Okay.
Not album.
He sounds like a
That's
young
just
guy.
the name of the place. Joe, you know what? He's a hip guy. It was really awesome being in there.
Yeah.
He had some really cool stuff in there. Like he had some boots that were worn by the
Some
boss.
45s. Some 45s.
Some 45s were in there.
Does he have a record player like that we could actually play
No, they
something?
have. So in addition to,
Because I don't know how
the
many people have a
records,
record player.
in addition to the records, he actually sells record players. He has some used equipment that gets fixed up,
Oh,
and he moves a lot of stuff out. That's really cool.
Put the needle on the record.
I'm telling you,
Put
man.
the needle on the record.
There you
know
go.
this one, Queasy?
Yeah. That was he's too young.
I'm old school.
I know,
This
but
guy.
he's a little bit.
I like
on
that
the
name
inside.
you got going for him, Young Buck.
Young Buck.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because he's not catching up on a lot of these things here. So no, great interview. No, in all
Yep.
seriousness, you know what? And taking it and speaking of economic development,
Mm-hmm.
businesses and things of that nature, I'm glad to see that the city's getting involved with that,
Oh, yeah.
assisting, and that people are again engaging and finding out that these resources are available.
Mm-hmm.
You got to ask. There's so many opportunities out there through the city, through the state, that companies and I